Welcome to episode 4 of Pint with the Coach. Our topic today is undoing all your hard work on the weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about how we can eat well all week, get our workouts in, but still not be seeing weight loss because of the food choices and some of the things that we're doing over the weekend that may not seem like a whole lot, but they do add up and they can kind of put us in a calorie surplus and be causing us not to gain weight, or not to gain weight, not to lose weight. So the beer we have today is from Magic Hat. It's called Barroom Hero. It's a light pub ale. It's kind of like an Irish red. It's about 4.5%. It's only 125 calories, so it's a very low calorie beer that has a lot of taste. So you don't have to drink something like Bud Light or Coors Light or something like that. You can still have some taste with it, but not wreck all your progress. So it kind of goes along with and fits into today's topic here a little bit. So you've worked out 3-4 times this week. You've worked really hard. You've got good workouts in. You feel, you're feeling pretty good. Coming into the weekend, your friends call, maybe another couple that you like to go out with. They, want to go to dinner, maybe have some drinks and desserts and things like that. So none of that's wrong, and we want you to go and do those things. But where some people run into trouble is they'll go out Friday night. They've eaten great all week. They're feeling good. They've maybe had a 200 calorie deficit each day. But then they go in for dinner. They have a bottle of wine. Maybe they have dessert. They probably have some food that they wouldn't normally have. That's just rich with extra calories. And these start to add up. So maybe for that day, you end up being 1,000 calories over what you should have been just because of that one meal. So the argument that we'll hear with this from a lot of people is that they're like, well, I'm eating well 80% of the time. And, we talk a lot about the 80-20 rule in here. And a lot of people will argue with this, like, I'm really doing well. I only have a few cheats each week. And it really doesn't matter what diet you're on. They all kind of come down to calories, and they all come down to following them about 80% of the time to get good results from it. But the problem is people will kind of itemize their 80%. So if they have, for breakfast, say they have a couple eggs and they have some oatmeal, they look at that as like, all right, I had 2 good things there. Then at lunch they had a salad with chicken and maybe a piece of fruit. So again, they had another 2 good things there. Dinners, some steamed veggies, some lean meat, and again, they're like another good one, 2 good things there. But so they look at their pizza or their beer all as one or 2 cheats there. And the problem with that is, with itemizing it, is that it doesn't take into account the calorie content. And the calories in those cheats tend to be a lot more than what is in the healthy food. So when we start eating I don't want to say bad food, but the things that are kind of our cheats, those calories add up really, really fast. So what, from an itemized standpoint, may look like 80-20 on paper, it might end up being like 50-50, 60-40 when we take the calories with that. So how do you tell if you are eating clean 80% of the time? It's actually pretty easy. And what we've done with a lot of clients is we'll have them make 2 columns on a sheet of paper. On that paper, we're going to have column A. It's going to be our good foods for the week. We're going to write them in there. We're going to write the calories with them. Column B is going to be our bad foods, and we're going to write those in there, and we're going to write the calories in there. At the end of the week, we're going to tally all of column A's calories, and we're going to tally all of column B's calories. What you're going to do from there, you're going to add both those numbers together, and you're going to divide by column B. That number should be 20% or less. If it comes out that column B is more than 20%, then you didn't follow the 80-20 rule that week. Your cheats were a little bit too many. They were too calorically dense. And it could be as simple as 1 less slice of pizza. It could be 1 less beer. It could be 1 less dessert. It might not necessarily have to be this massive overhaul of what you're doing. It could be 1 or 2 little things. But these over time will all add up, and this is what derails a lot of people with their progress. They get frustrated. They're like, I feel like I'm doing really well through the week. I feel like I'm eating really well, but then on their cheat meals, they're they're making choices calorie-wise that just aren't clean enough, and it's throwing them out of that 80-20 balance. The other thing that we also see where some people mess up is they will want to just have like one cheat day. And again, we're not opposed to this because this can work very well for some people too. Some will make it Saturday, some will make it Sunday, some maybe it's half a day on Friday and half a day on Saturday. That strategy usually doesn't work too well because the Friday night, the Saturday night can get a little out of hand easy, but for some that does work. The problem again with doing that is that one day can have so many more calories that we throw ourselves out of our deficit. So we could come into our cheat day with say maybe a 500, 800 calorie deficit for the week, and then on that day we could eat 1,000 or maybe even a 2,000 calorie surplus. So if I had an 800 calorie deficit and I eat an extra 1,000 calories on my cheat day, I'm now positive 200 calories. If I'm up to say maybe 2,000 more than what I normally would have eaten, now I'm 1,200 over. So each week I'm kind of repeating that same process, and I'm never getting into a consistent calorie deficit over the week. I'm actually at a calorie surplus, which can lead to not losing weight or even gaining some weight and some body fat. And this can be a big struggle for people. So again, we'd like to go back to that column A, column B, write everything down, see where it's at, and just make sure that each week that you fall in that 80-20 rule with that. And if you're not one week, it's not the end of the world. Look at where you could have maybe fixed that a little bit. What could you have done that would have thrown you back into 80-20, into where you need to be? And just make that adjustment the following week. And over time, this will get to be where it's relatively, I wouldn't say easy, but you'll know how much you can get away with, things like that. So again, you're not depriving yourself. You're still having beers. You're still having maybe a glass of wine. You're still having some desserts here and there. You're just not doing all of those things at one time. And a lot of times we find that people aren't necessarily eating bad. Most people know that they shouldn't be going to McDonald's. They shouldn't be down in a whole pizza or a pint of ice cream and getting loaded on the weekends and just being hungover and then eating all the bad food that goes along with the hangover and stuff like that. I mean, those things all happen, but most people, they're not doing those things regularly. And so they feel that they should be seeing better results than they are. But again, it just comes back to getting into 80-20, totaling your calories, seeing if those calories follow into that 80-20 rule there. So that kind of wraps up our plan of the day today. If you guys are liking these, put some comments in the bottom. If you have a beer that you want me to try while we're doing this, post it in there. We'll see if we can get it, and we'll try it on the show.